Good morning from the Rooster Inn. The sun looks very active today. Just like yesterday, I waited a bit longer than usual to go live because it was a very humid night. I wanted to give the sun a chance to go a little bit up. I'm already seeing prominences at the edge, so I'm anxious to see how big they are. And there we go. All around the sun. I don't know if bring them to the middle is going to show any additional detail or whether this is it. No, this looks like it. All right, this is an interesting one on top. It's still not clear to me how much more sensitive the hydrogen alpha filter is in the middle of the telescope, in the middle of the lens, as opposed to the edges. But if we keep an eye on this little thing and we bring the picture, we move it sideways, yeah, it's still the same, only ever so slightly different. Let's take a look at the one at 9 o'clock. It was there yesterday. Yeah, not much more detail. I wonder if it is the amount of, or the kind of energy that we're looking at that will make a difference. So that is the edge of the sun. Definitely picture worthy. If you hang on with me. Yeah, I mean this detail at 1 o'clock on top is barely visible at the edge. And if we bring it down, it's slightly more visible. Okay. Let's go back into the sun or to the surface proper and see what's there to be seen. A couple, 3 sunspots. 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe, and lots of filaments. And this is a very visible faculae there. A faculae is defined, in the dictionary at least, it is Latin for little torch or little bright spot, and it is a bright area on the surface of the sun that usually precedes the appearance of sunspots. So in this case, the facula down at around 5 o'clock is already showing a sunspot forming right next to it. The filaments are essentially solar flares that we're looking at head-on. But this is an interesting facula. As I mentioned, it's Latin for torch, light torch, or bright light. And they normally precede the formation of sunspots. Faculae are not visible with the regular telescopes. They do require a hydrogen alpha tuner or filter, whereas sunspots are indeed visible with simple neutral density telescopes. Interesting thing this morning is, without going too bright, we're already able to see the solar flare down at about 5 o'clock. And let's go back to, yeah, you can see the facula down at in the same area. There's the solar flare. And quite a few solar flares this morning. Now, if everything stays as planned, next Friday, 19th, August 19 at 6:35 a.m. Eastern Time, the International Space Station is expected to transit the Sun. And barring clouds, I will be going live at around 6:30 and staying live till around 6:40 in the hope of seeing the Sun, seeing the International Space Station transiting the Sun. A couple nights ago, we saw a plane, a regular commercial aircraft, transiting the Moon. That was not planned, it was a pure chance. I've been keeping an eye at boosts of the ISS. Because it loses altitude on a regular basis. NASA boosts it to move it back into altitude every so often. Depending on the timing of whatever boosting may happen over the next week or so, we may miss the transit, but I'm keeping an eye on it. As of this morning, the transit is still on. Next Friday, 6:35 a.m. And to improve our chances of getting the International Space Station, I plan to reduce dramatically the exposure, probably go to half a millisecond or 1/2000th of a second. And given that the Sun has about a 30 arc minute field of view from the Earth, the rate at which the International Space Station is going to transit it, it's going to be very fast. So at 1/2000th, I'm hopefully improving the chances of getting it. 90 minutes roughly is 360 degrees, which means 90 seconds is 360 minutes, and for 30 minutes is 1/12 of that, so we're talking about 5 to 6 seconds. Not shabby at all. Keeping fingers crossed that we will be able to see the International Space Station next Friday for about 4 or 5 seconds transiting the Sun. The website that I look at for transits is transit-finder.com. There's another interesting one. Looks like on the 25th of August, Thursday, bright and early in the morning, 5 a.m., the International Space Station will transit the moon. So we're keeping an eye on those transits, and I'll keep you posted if changes in altitude of the International Space Station affect our expectations of when it is transiting. All right. So that's it for this morning from the Rooster Inn Observatory. I will take you back out to the edge of the sun and wish you a happy Saturday. So long.